Quite a warm welcome. I am a tall guy. But today we're going to talk about something that is very close to my heart. Through this conversation, I think a lot of you all will relate because as a content creator, you try and be relatable. Otherwise, you're not a good content creator. But you will relate, and the hope is that you end up learning a little something through my experiences because, as they say, if you can learn from somebody's mistakes, you're smart. And I'm assuming you guys are smart. So let's do this. No easier way to say this, but my life hasn't been normal. And a lot of you guys will relate to this, with this, that your lives haven't been normal either. I'm not saying my life was special, my life was unique. I'm just saying it wasn't normal. And frankly, I'm okay with it. I'm Dr. Siddhanth Bhargava. As I was rightly introduced, yes, I do run a startup. Yes, I am tall. But let me tell you why my life isn't normal. I'm going to start a little पीछे से. At 9, when I was in the 4th standard, I got diagnosed with something which has become popular now, known as alopecia. A lot of fights have happened over alopecia, but I was diagnosed with alopecia and vitiligo. So my childhood basically was spent with me trying to cover up these spots on my head, with trying to part my hair in weird ways. Of course, I got made fun of that. And trying and wearing all these full sleeve t-shirts because I had these white spots on my skin. Yes, I was whiter than what I am right now. Moving on, I did medicine. I was a good student. I got into medicine, finished medicine. Suddenly in the final year, I realized I don't want to do medicine. Everybody was furious because being a doctor is all I wanted. So I quit medicine. I dropped out in the final year, 6 months before my exam. The reason was because I got diagnosed with something known as lupus. Now, lupus is something which is incurable, but the alopecia that I told you about, in a span of 20 days, I lost every speck of hair on my entire body. So basically, you can imagine a cue ball, the pool cue ball. That's what I became. I was weird. I lost all confidence. I didn't want to go out of my house. Children used to call me, like they used to pull their mom's dress and say, "Ma, wo kya hai?" And it wasn't wo kaun hai, it was wo kya hai. And basically I was shattered, right? Because I was a 21-year-old kid who didn't know what he wanted to do in life. So basically self-doubt, again, something that you can relate with. And my self-confidence was essentially zero. Somehow I pulled myself back up. I don't think I did a great job at it, but somehow I got there, started my startup, which really helped. Everything is going fine. 2 years ago, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. So I was like, woo, and then back down. So I helped rebuild myself up, and that happened. Again, not normal, right? So now I'm a 25-year-old boy who's got lupus on one side and thyroid cancer on the other. Of course, I get operated, I take my radiotherapy, and I'm back to normal. Life goes on. But this is why life isn't normal, and I'm assuming that everybody in this audience has had their set of problems. I started my conversation by saying that life isn't normal, but I'm not saying I'm special. I'm not saying I'm unique. I'm just saying I'm not normal, which goes for a lot of you out here. A lot of people have had their share of problems. A lot of people are getting over their share of problems. And a lot of people are not normal like I am. But frankly, we're all okay with it. The way I live life has changed, right? When you've got a lot of these things, you rebuild yourself multiple times. Your family treats you different. Your friends treat you different. I never was a fan of sympathy. I don't like being felt sorry for, is why I managed to talk about this in a way where I'm trying to teach you all something. So I'm going to teach you what life taught me, and this is what my entire TEDx talk is about. With all this experience, obviously, your character is shaped. My personality, my character, my perspective, the way I think was all changing as I was going through all this. And let me give you a glimpse of how I live life now, and hopefully you guys can learn something about it. Point number 1, problems. Problems are there in every sphere of your life, be it relationship problems, be it money problems, be it parent problems, be it whatever. Like you can extrapolate this into being anything. But the problem with problems is they're like dominoes. The moment one falls, you automatically go into the spiral, and then everything in your life starts falling down like dominoes. Most people move into a really bad headspace over there because suddenly you feel, oh my God, everything is going wrong. It becomes difficult to reel out of it because you genuinely believe that, why is this happening to me? How do I make sure that I fix this? Easier said than done, but what I ended up practicing was that I stopped victimizing myself. The first thing when you're dealing with any kind of problem, no matter how small, no matter how big, because when you're dealing with the problem, it always seems big. Stop victimizing yourself. When I say that, what I'm trying to say is that for a little bit, you will. When you're going through something, when you're sad, when you're upset, obviously you want the sympathy, obviously you want the attention, you want people to be there for you, you want people to love you. But the problem with self-victimization is, in the beginning, it's fine. It's a little healthy because you need that time. But later, you realize that it prevents growth. If you keep putting yourself back down in that cage, which life has put you in, you're never going to be able to grow. The whole point is that instead of those dominoes following one after the other, make some space between those dominoes. Think about it. If the first one fell and there was a lot of space between the second one, do you think the second one would fall? Absolutely not. Let me put it into perspective. The idea is compartmentalize. When you realize one thing is going wrong in life, that should not be the reason why 100 other things start going wrong in life. Compartmentalize. Realize what is going wrong in life. Think, do I have a solution to it right now? If you don't, you might have one later. If you do, fix it. But don't start thinking negatively about everything else. And trust me, all of this is practice. Right now, you think about it, probably you'll go back home and maybe revisit this conversation that, Siddhanth said something like that, but it's only when you manage to practice, it's only when you manage to create this buffer in your head that problems can keep coming and I can keep dealing with them in this particular manner, is when you will start making some progress. And I'm an example of that, right? Like, I don't think things affect me anymore because I know even if they do, I'm going to compartmentalize and move on. The second learning that I had throughout all of this is define what success means to you. How many of you over here think that you are successful? I can see 2 hands in probably 200 people. 5 hands. How many of you here think I am successful? I still see 2 hands, but that's okay. The whole point is you need to define success for you. For some, it's fame. For some, it's money. For some, it's having a great family. For me, success is contentment. The reason I say success is contentment is because once you achieve it, it cannot go away. The reason I say success is contentment is I am not saying being content means being satisfied. Not at all. You aren't satisfied with life. You're always striving for more. You still want to grow. But being content means you're in a general state of happiness with who you are and how you are. The moment you reach here, you're gold. But the problem is it's very difficult. When I said something like success is contentment, half the people must be thinking, kya bol raha hai? I mean, what does that even mean? But that's what we're all chasing, right? When I was younger, say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, all I wanted was money, 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 money. A little while later, when I started doing content and I got that gratification, I made my page in a year. So then I wanted fame, 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 fame. But now I've realized that I don't know how long my life is. Like, it sounds weird, right? Like a 27-year-old boy saying, I don't know how long my life is, but it's true. So when I become content with life, that's the time when I'm going to be truly happy, and that is success for me. Once I get there, I will let you know. The third principle that I live by is that I come first. I am the most important person in my own life. Self-preservation. No matter who you live with, no matter who you speak to, of course I care about people. I help people. I'm a nice person. I choose to believe I'm a nice person. But when it comes between me and somebody else, I will always choose my peace. I will always choose my happiness because I come first. The moment you stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about everything around you, that's a problem. Of course, we know how to deal with problems now, but that's how I've always been. These last 5 years, I have been selfish. It is not wrong to be selfish. Not at all. Why is it wrong to want things for yourself? It's not. As long as you're a good human being, as long as you being selfish does not prevent somebody else from doing something else, I think that's okay. And that's my third principle. My fourth principle is achievements are not made from talent. Achievements are made from resilience. When I was young, I used to think I'm super smart. Like I got my IQ tested, and in school, in college, I was really, wo jo it boy bolte hai na, that was me. I always thought I'm going to kill it in life. When I entered the real world, I realized I'm not that smart after all. I'm really not. I may be good at certain things. I'm bad at a lot of things. I may be good at say, talking to a crowd, but I may be genuinely bad at running a business, but the point is, I still own a 500 crore business. I still am making another startup that is going to change the way diabetes is treated. I'm still doing all of that and I'm not smart enough to do it. Why do I end up doing it? Because I show up every single day. I'm not smart enough to be doing anything. But resilience beats talent always. We've all heard about those stories, right? Oh, this kid is super smart. He's going to be damn successful in life. But then that kid sometimes doesn't get there. But the other kid who was always at that 80% mark, but he knew he studied every single day. His attitude towards life was so positive that he put his best foot forward every single day, irrespective of how capable he was. He's the one who gets there. That's me now. That can be you too. Resilience will beat talent always. Just show up. Don't run from your problems. Don't run from situations. Just show up and half that battle is won. And the last point, and this is me. Like this one line has helped me get through everything. This too shall pass. All you gotta do is believe. I just got goosebumps. Every time I do this on stage and I say this line, I always get goosebumps because this has been me forever. My dad told me, I think 6 or 7 years ago, and he tells me this today. That time he told me that, Siddhanth, things seem bad now. Things seem like, it's ending for you. It's not going to last. Today he tells me, Siddhanth, in your head you think you're very successful and you seem fortunate and you've got money and all of that. It's not going to last. There is a concept which is known as regression to the mean, which means everything will always come back to the center. This too shall pass. Nothing stays permanent. These are the 5 principles that I have gathered over the last 5-6 years that have genuinely helped me become me, that have genuinely helped me grow. And hopefully, once you start applying these principles, they might help you too. I'm going to leave you with my last thought. And this has now become the way I live life. This has now become the answer to all my problems. Whenever I have a problem, I know that somebody has it worse. So many people ask me that, Siddhanth, oh my God, so many things happened to you. How did you deal with it? My problems were my problems. My problems were not small. Neither are yours. Supposing you've got a fractured arm and you can't write, that's a major problem. But what's in my head is that if I know that my problem has a solution, that's what I start looking at. I don't sit and keep thinking about how big my problems are because the fact of the matter is that there are so many people out there who've just had it worse. Their problems might not even have a solution. But if you can understand how to solve your problem, you're going to find the correct way to fly and nothing actually can stop you. So I'm going to repeat what I said. I'm Dr. Siddhanth Bhargava. I am not normal. And frankly, I'm okay with it.